In this video, I want to explain how to answer guided visualization questions. These questions usually appear with some type of interactive feature. Whenever you click on this link, that interactive feature will pop up in a separate window. So make sure that your pop-ups are turned on. So let's go back to this question. And we're told at the top on how to interact with this separate pop-up window. So it says to first select this particular function, f of x equals the square root of x plus 4. So when we come back to the interactive figure, you'll see over here that the function is now set as x squared minus 5. And when you click the drop down, you're given other choices, and here's where we would select that particular function that's in the problem. So coming back, it says next, check the show values box, which is one of these additional features over here. After that, you're asked to use the X slider to aid in completing the parts below. So you're told to find the value of f of 0 and select the correct choice, fill in the extra boxes, so forth and so on. Okay, so back here, now we're using this X slider. You've worked with sliders before, probably in something like Desmos or maybe some other interactive website, and it works very much the same way with this interactive feature inside my math lab. So notice at the very bottom, you're given the function notation form of what that point becomes on the actual graph of this function. So this is saying, for instance, that f of 3.5, in other words, when the input is 3.5 on the f function as defined as this, we get an output, or it equals 2.74. Input and outputs also appear as x, y coordinates on the actual graph. So what we're asked to do in this first one is find f of 0, which means we need to set x at 0. By doing so, I see that the output is 2. Or down here at the bottom, I see that f of 0 equals 2. So graphically speaking, it appears as the point 0.02. Function notation wise, it appears as f of 0 equals 2. So let's type that one in. And then moving on to the next one, we're asked for f of -3. I am going to use this box right here. I'm going to click this box that says integer x values, just so I don't have to deal with all the decimal values. It kind of just jumps a little bit further. Now when x is -3, the output or the y value is 1, and it's also represented here. So f of -3 is 1. And the last one is asking for f of -6. So I know I need to move my slider until x is -6. And notice that's not a point on the blue graph of the function, and it even comes up down here at the bottom in function notation that it has no value. The reason why is if we were to input -6 into this function, we would get -6 plus 4 underneath the radical, which becomes square root of 2 under -2, that's underneath the radical, square root of -2. And we cannot take the square root of a negative number and get a real number answer. So that's why there is no real value